What is up? It's Whiskey Wednesday. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room on this beautiful Wednesday night. Hope everyone is staying safe. Hope everyone is staying healthy. Awesome to see you guys. Got a fun show tonight planned for you. What is up, everyone? Coming in from an amazing showdown between Chris from Bourbon Saint and Michael Klein. Again, primetime Klein pulls out the victory. Chris, though, man, gave him a run for his money. I'm telling you, we got some palates on Whiskey Tube, man. We got some heavy hitters. Let's see. Trying to say hi to everybody here. Stephen Matthews. What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. We got a bunch of people in the chat coming in. Everyone's settling in. Everyone diving in from after Chris and Michael Klein's showdown. Again, yes, primetime wins again. Let's see. Yeah, Minnick. Minnick is always going at 9 o'clock now. So yeah, you know, I got to compete with Minnick. He's doing some great things though. I can't. He's got Mick Fleetwood on tonight, which is pretty awesome. ADHD Whiskey's in the house. Mr. Drum, what is up? Beautiful. Lovely to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. Edward Cummings. Yeah, it was a showdown and a half, man. It was awesome. James Taylor. McKenna 10-year. Bottle and Bond is nice. Yes, it is. Especially when you get a really good bottle. Nick Foles, we need Klein versus Jason round 2. I think I need to work the circuit. Me and Klein had a vicious head-to-head. It was like super close. But I need to go against someone else and see if my palate is still up to the challenge. So let's see. Jason, what is that corn crap you're peddling? Brittany Williams. Yeah, the mellow corn. I actually have it blended right here. This is a blend. I mentioned it on my episode today. It's a blend of Old Grandad 114 and mellow corn. I thought this would be a good way to get the night started. So cheers. Happy Whiskey Wednesday, guys. Nice. DJ Beacon says, Minnick who? Here's where it's at. Thanks, DJ. Daniel Kerber, ADHD versus Master Drum. Yeah, I think we're going to have to work that out. So ADHD, I'm ready when you are, man. Will Hedison, you should start wearing a bow tie. So much cooler than an ascot. I might do that, man. That's a good idea. So welcome in. So what we're going to do tonight, guys, is speaking of, palates and training, I realize when I'm tasting different whiskeys and bourbons, I'm actually not that great just yet at getting, picking out certain finished whiskeys. So I kind of wanted to put my palate to the test tonight. So what I'm doing, I had my lady, she was kind enough to pour me 5 blind samples here. They have a grouping of about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I had 12 different finished whiskeys, and she chose 5 out of those 12 and poured some samples. I have glasses to coincide with the sample, so what's in here. I have the results that she wrote here. They're totally blind, well, except for what I kind of know is in here. So. But when I'm doing a flight and I'm going back to back to back to back, it's kind of hard for me to, if you're doing finished whiskeys, it's easy to pick them up when you're doing one bourbon, one rye, and then a finished whiskey will really stand out. But when you're doing a whole flight of finished whiskeys, that's hard. So I'm going to be doing that tonight. So I have some good ones in the kind of in the stable here, ones that I chose. We'll go through those once we get to that. So let me see. Yeah, love some mellow corn. Thanks for hosting us tonight, Mash and Drum. Yeah, absolutely, OG Brick. Thanks for coming in. Patrick Fulmer, thanks for coming in. Hey, why not try some MC with Jepsen? Chris Beaton says, yo, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. Jason, I have bottle number 76 of 93 of 19 Stone Age 14-year straight bourbon whiskey. Have you ever heard of it? It has first edition label on the neck. Number 76, Stone Age. I've heard of Stone Aged straight bourbon, but I did not know there was ones out there that were that old. So I don't know that, Brittany. Donald Rance is here. Richie Z. What is up? Nice to see you guys. So before we get to the good stuff, I got another fun bottle. I don't know if you remember way back. I got a bottle of Malort. So this is Jepsen's Malort, which is a very popular product in Chicago or Illinois. I think mainly Chicago. And this stuff it was terrible. It's known for being pretty terrible, but the people that like it have a cult following. So I read somewhere that they were actually releasing a bourbon. So good buddy of mine in Chicago, Pete, if you're watching, thank you very much. Pete he got his hand on a bottle of Jepsen's bourbon. So I thought it'd be fun, as bad as this was, to see if the Jepsen's bourbon might be better than the Jep the Creed. So gonna do a little tasting here. What else is everyone? Hey, my bourbon journey's in the house. What is up? Austin Gardner, Jason, looking forward to a great night. Thanks for coming in, Austin. Always good to see you, man. Radislav Traps is here. Love me some Finnish whiskey. Yeah, me too, man. Definitely been loving the Finnish whiskeys lately. Steve Aronson says it's more of a joke than anything. No, I don't, Austin. I do not love some Jephthah. Mash and Drum, if you could spend the same amount and get either one George T. Stagg or Elijah Craig 18 plus M10, which one are you picking? It depends on the year of the George T. Stagg. If it was the 2019 George T. Stagg, I would get the EC 18 and the M10. If it was the 2018 George T. Stagg, I would take the Stagg. The 19 just wasn't up to snuff last year for me, the Stagg. It's 116 proof. A lot of people like the low proof, but out of a George T. Stagg, man, I want something with some balls on it. I don't want 116 proof George T. Stagg. That's why a lot of people, I think, pick the Stagg Junior Batch 12 over it. So, all right, so let's pour some Jepsen's bourbon. Now, I was looking up at what exactly is in here, and there is absolutely no information. All it says is it's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Don't know where it comes from. Don't know where they got it. I'm guessing it's pretty young. Now, I haven't had this yet. This actually spilled out a little bit in the box when he shipped it. When I opened the box, it was just a mess. So, let's see how this Jepsen's bourbon is. So a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, and it's 100 proof. So, it's actually a nice proof. Jep the Creed is 98 proof, so 2 points lower. But let's see how this one is. Andrew Kelly says, wait, you're going to destroy your palate before doing a blind? I don't think this will destroy my palate, but if it was the Malort, I wouldn't do it. Now this one, see, this smells like a bourbon. A young bourbon, but it smells like a bourbon. Yeah, it's young. I would say this can't be any more than 4 or 5 years old. Definitely sweet, probably low rye. A lot of corn. Light caramel, light vanilla. Maybe the slightest hint of oak spice, but not much. Definitely smells better on the nose than Jepthah. Go for a sip. Cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Oh. I actually was liking it until the finish. The finish got very medicinal. Very medicinal. But the front of the palate was actually not bad. Hey, we got, let's see. Hey, Oak and Smoke Whiskey Reviews. What's up, Brent? Tammy Brennicky says, hey, Bill. Hey, Dusty Dan's in the house. What's up, Dusty? Thanks for coming in, man. Who else we got here? Slade Gullidge says, straight trash. Good luck. Hey, the Whiskey Dick, what's up, man? I can't stay long. I wanted to drop in and leave my thumbs up. You should too. Hey, thanks for that, Bill. Appreciate that. Alex Bastion comes in with a $2.99 super chat, says, I appreciate the authenticity in your reviews. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's what I strive for, man. Yeah, so this one is I actually like this better than the Jepthah. It actually tastes like a bourbon. The only problem is it has a really funky finish on it. The front of the palate isn't bad, though. Yeah, the finish is sour. It's like you're getting the extra, like an extra pungent sour mash flavor on the back end of that. But the front of the palate's not bad. I mean, that's probably more of a mixer than anything, if you want to hide that sourness. So yeah, Jepsen's bourbon over Jephthah. Sorry, Jephthah. August 1 Whiskey Reviews. Before you get started, do you think 4-Gate Batch 6 is their best release? I don't know, dude. I have a review coming out soon of that. I put it against Batch 1, so you'll have to find out my thoughts. But I'll say it was a tough decision. Regis, why not dump the bottle in your face like the junkies? Why not dump the bottle in your face like the junkies? Well, because Dan did that by mistake. I don't think he did that on purpose. If I did it, it'd be on purpose. Logan Captis, finished bourbons and ryes have become my favorite pairing with a cigar. Thought, yeah, absolutely. I actually had a cigar. I had a cigar on Sunday night with the new Blood Oath. Which is a cognac finish. So that pairing was awesome. Speaking of cigars, going to be having Jeremy Sears on the channel on Tuesday this week, which is a different night for me. We're going to be going at 7:30, which is early, and then leading into the junkies. So me and Jeremy, we're going to be getting into a little bit more of the pairing of cigars, how he pairs, what he looks for. I sent him about 8 or 9 different samples to try to pair with cigars, stuff that he's never had. So that was kind of his challenge. So we'll be talking back and forth about what we're going to be pairing. We'll definitely have a cigar or two, so definitely tune in for that. Eric Evanson. Hey, Eric Evanson here. How you doing, man? Been holding up good. Doug Christoph. Jason, I did the OGB 14 Mellocorn blend today. Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. I do not hate it. Joseph Brazo, if you'd waited another week, you'd have an addiction to tonight's lineup. Oh, in addition to tonight's lineup. Oh, yeah. I know, Joseph, but I couldn't wait, man. I wanted to do this real bad. Eric Evanson, what cigar brand? I had a Padron, actually. I've been sitting on it for a little while. All right. So before we dive into the blind tasting, guys, as usual, I want to call out some new Patreons that I got, including Uger, I'm not really sure how you say that. Joel Schwartz, Mick Whiskey became a Patreon. Will Henderson, who I think is in the chat. Thank you so much, man. Also, Mitch Fairchild, Mark Royland, and Ethan Turk and Joseph Horton. Thanks for joining the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. I really appreciate the support. Just sent out some new glasses, so a lot of the Intense Drummers will be getting some glasses. So cheers, guys, and thank you so much. Legendary Drummer, Legendary Drummers, you should be getting your customized Mash and Drum flasks very soon. So thanks for coming in. Having Jeremy on will be awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having him on. It'll be pretty cool. Yeah, I think Mellocorn is a great mixer. You know, not only for just, I feel like that's a good whiskey to like mess with. I've added it to some scotches to see what it does. I know Scotch people will probably be like, what the fuck are you doing? But I'm just saying it's kind of interesting being that much corn and it's a good proof point. And it's actually a really unique whiskey. Mellocorn is the only bottled and bond corn whiskey on the market. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Wong Jeff X says, put towards your next bottle of Mellocorn. Hello from Toronto, Canada. What is up, Wong from Toronto? Cheers to you, man. Thanks for coming in tonight. That's awesome. All the Canadians in the house. Love it. All right, so let's get into some whiskey news like we like to do. Because we had a couple announcements this week, including, I heard a rumor today. Now, you guys know New Riff, right? Everyone knows New Riff, really great craft whiskey. I think they're getting beyond the craft point now because they're putting out some pretty incredible stuff. Always liked them from the beginning. I heard that the 2 original guys that started OKI are wanting to relaunch OKI. Now, for any of you that don't know what OKI was the bourbon that became New Riff. Now, the guys that I guess sold the naming rights or sold off OKI or now want to come back and relaunch OKI. OKI just stands for Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Indiana. So that's where they get the name from. It was a blend of different whiskeys from all three states for the most part. But yeah, some of those stuff you see on the secondary go for a lot of money because you can't get it anymore. But I think they're trying to come back with it. So we'll see what happens in the future here. Eric Evanson, have you ever tried anything from Drew Estate Natural Line Cigars? I can't say I have. I'm not a huge cigar smoker. I have cigars, but I have to really be in the mood for them. But having some with these finished whiskeys lately have been just like hitting the spot. It's been awesome. Dram Man, thank you, man. Went out and got me a Knob Creek 12. That shot is hard to find. Yeah, the Knob Creek 12. Yeah, I mean, it did good in my my 12-year lineup. So, Rebecca Pace has finally picked up a New Riff single barrel. Yeah, those are good. Don't tell people about New Riff. I think enough people know about New Riff now. Yeah, I think Tammy Brennicky said Woodinville. Yeah, I think Woodinville is the next one that when it pops in, it's hard to get. That stuff sold out real quick here in Ohio, so I'm trying to find more of it. It finally hit Ohio not that long ago, but it sold out pretty quick, at least the stores here. I have to hunt for some more. How about that finish on the New Riff, though? The new Riff, the back setter with the peat. I got to say, I said it last week, I've never had really a good peated bourbon. I've had a couple of peated offerings from Texas that I thought was good, but maybe because that peat goes good with that Texas funk a little bit, I'm not sure about how it works with, I don't know. I have to try it. New Riff hasn't really disappointed me too much. So the Balboa Rye special release was awesome. The single barrel ryes were good. The single barrel bourbons some of them have been incredible. So it just depends. We'll see. Hey, it's Scott from My Bourbon Journey. What's up, man? All right, let's go to the news. So first, a bottle we will never find and probably never see. Buffalo Trace, experimental collection, a 12-year wheated bourbon. Cut at 4 years is the first Buffalo Trace experimental collection release for the brand in 2020. This is a wheated bourbon recipe, first entered the barrel at 114 proof in December 2007, remained for 4 years. Then it was removed and cut with water to bring it down to 100 proof before re-entering the barrel to age for another 8 years. This was bottled in March 2020 at 90 proof. It will be sold in 375 milliliter size bottles, limited quantities beginning May 2020, so next month, for an MSRP of $46.99. Of course, we'll never see them. Liquor store owners and people that have connections will put it on the secondary, and we'll see it for upwards of over $200. So that's how that's exactly is going to work. I'm telling you right now, which is bullshit. I would love to try that wheated. It sounds interesting. But, you never know with that stuff. Sam Clark, how does the Texas Funk compare to the Springtown Camel Funk? It's a different funk. Texas Funk to me is like old, like wood and like almost like hay and like a slight like dark root beer and sugar type note. Whereas Campbelltown Funk is like rubber tire, but at the same time, it's got like a medicinal but sweet flavor to it. So, two different types of funk. Let's see. Dram Thank You Man says, that's that bullshit. Yeah, that's what it's going to be, man. All right, next one up is for all of you Scotch lovers, Glengallicky, I think, is launching its second batch of wood finishes. So recently, acquired by master distiller Billy Walker and his partners in 2017, released a second batch of wood finishes. All of them are bottled at 48% without chill filtration, so non-chill filtered. One is finished in Kentucky rye barrels. One is finished in Muscatel wood finish, Muscatel wine barriques for 2 years, and the last one is an 11-year-old port wood finish. The Muscatel is also 11 years old, and the rye wood finish is 9 years old. Next up, so for all of you guys who like to watch the Kentucky Derby and can't, there's some kind of cool, there's some cool online things that are going to be happening during the Kentucky Derby if you guys still want to take part in it. So as you know, the first Saturday of May is traditionally the running of the Roses, better known as Kentucky Derby. Unfortunately, the event has been postponed until September 5th because of the ongoing pandemic. Now, this marks only the second time the event has been rescheduled. The first came in 1945 due to World War II when the event was held in June that year. Now, Woodford Reserve is always a sponsor of the Derby. They have joined forces with Churchill Downs for a day-long at-home celebration while also raising money for those in need due to the pandemic. They will both be presenting unique content on the Kentucky Derby social media, which is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, that day, followed by the re-airing of the 2015 Kentucky Derby from 3 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. So you guys can take part in it. You can still kind of celebrate the day if you want, if you're really into horse racing. Furthermore, the NBC broadcast will feature Churchill Downs' first ever virtual horse race, which is pretty cool. The Kentucky Derby Triple Crown Showdown, they're calling it. This computer-simulated version of a race will feature all 13 past Triple Crown winners. So they're going to put the past 13 Triple Crown winners, throw them in a virtual race, and let it go. So something kind of cool to look forward to, All right, now we have some upcoming releases. So I'm going to kind of fly through these guys. So here we go. First up, the label's not here, but it's an Ardbeg 25 year. So you Ardbeg heads, this looks to be the oldest official bottling of Ardbeg in over a decade. What we know, this is a 25-year single malt. It's non-chill filtered and it's supposed to be bottled at 46% ABV. Considering the 19-year-old Trayvon was about $300, this one will probably get into excess of $400 or more. At least that's my guess. Teeling is releasing Black Pitts Peated Single Malt, it's called. This looks to be the first peated whiskey release under the Teeling brand, named after the area in Dublin behind the distillery, which was formerly home for an abundance of malting houses. It's a peated single malt aged in ex-bourbon and ex-sauternes casks, bottled without chill filtration at 46% ABV. Glenmorangie is releasing a Tale of the Cake. This is a festival label, non-age statement release. It's a single malt finished in Tokaji wine casks, which is a Hungarian white dessert wine similar to Sauternes, bottled at 46%, 46.3% ABV. Ezra Brooks 99 proof. This is one I'm looking forward to. It's a new proof for the Kentucky Straight Bourbon brand, which already has the 80 proof and 90 proof versions. It's a Kentucky Straight Bourbon bottled at 99 proof. Also, Bardstown Bourbon Company is releasing the third release in their Fusion series. Blend of 3 Kentucky Straight Bourbons. One is 13 years old. The other 2 were distilled by Bardstown Bourbon Company and are only 3 years old. Then you have Plantation Rum and Real McCoy 12th anniversary. Both rums. I don't know too much about rums, so we'll just leave it at that. So that's the news, guys. It's a mouthful. So, hey, Clifton's in the house. What is up, Clifton? Thanks for coming in, man. Clifton McDaniel. Everyone go check out Clifton's channel. Does some great reviews as well. It is pronounced Tokai. Tokai. Yeah, I'm sure I butchered that. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to set up this blind tasting. So if you guys are just tuning in, what I did is my girlfriend actually came in and I gave her a selection of 12 different finished whiskeys to throw in a blind tasting. I said just pick any of the 5 out of that 12 and then just label them, and then I'll be able to taste them and see if I can figure out what they are or if I can figure out what the finish is. As I was mentioning earlier, the issue I think is when you do a blind tasting and you have a bunch of bourbons or ryes, then you come across a finished bourbon, it's kind of easy to pick out the finishing mostly. Now doing a flight with just finishes, I seem to have trouble with that, so I want to kind of do one live with you guys and see how it works out. In the meantime, we'll throw out some different questions. By the way, tonight I will be giving away a bottle of Weller Antique. So somebody out there watching will get a bottle of Weller Antique tonight. Not sure how I'm giving it away yet. We'll figure something out. But I didn't want to do it by Super Chat again, but probably do like a trivia question or something like that. But somebody out there will. I have a lot of these, as you guys probably know. So I figure I'll give one away tonight because I know these are hard to get in most places. So one of you guys out there get a Weller. Oh, I almost forgot. So if any of you caught my my mellow corn review this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, that was the first time I did stop motion camera treatment, stop motion camera recording, which was a pain in the ass. It took forever. I started it like a week ago, and it's a pain. It's like 1,000 different pictures to take as the bottle's moving everywhere. But while I was doing it, while it was happening, one of my back overlights here, one of my rear light that I have for my lighting for my channel, decided to collapse, and where it fell was right on top of this barrel. Came all the way down and boom, right on the barrel. So a bunch of bottles fell to the ground. All of them survived except one. One bottle just fell in a weird spot and completely shattered in a million little bits. I was in here for about an hour cleaning that shit up. And it kills me, but it was this bottle. It was my Ardbeg Black. That's how it broke. Look at that thing. This thing went right down. I think it fell like right on the neck because everything seemed to explode like outward from everywhere. And the top of the bottle was completely intact. But like the middle of this bottle up into here was like shattered. So I have a feeling it fell like right on top, which was just killed me. I couldn't believe it. I actually really liked this committee release, and now it's gone, which really sucks. It all spilled out. It was everywhere. I had a few pours of it before it went, and my entire room like reeked of peat for like a good few hours. I had to, man, I was cleaning the shit out of this place last week. It was crazy. Yeah, it sucked. It really sucked. But I will say another victim of the pandemic. Yeah, I was really upset about it because I had a lot of bottles here that actually fell and actually survived. A couple of the smoke wagons fell. I was freaking out. I thought that's the one that shattered, but it stayed okay. So, hey, Douglas Papa just came in with a $10 super chat. Appreciate your work for the bourbon community. Love your live streams. Thank you so much, Douglas. I appreciate you. Douglas, one of my legendary drummers. Thank you so much for popping in tonight, man. Yeah, Clifton McDaniel, exactly. All that for the freaking mellow corn dancing around my table, and I shatter Ardbeg Black. That's what I get. That's what I get for trying to get cute with my videos. Rebecca Page, that should have been the trivia question for 107. Which bottle broke? Yeah, totally went. How am I supposed to win a sample of that? Shoot, black. Yeah, it sucks. I think there's some more around Ohio. I might splurge and get another one. I don't know. It sucks though. All right, so let's put these in order here. So this is B, C, D, and E. All right. Christopher David with a $10 super chat for the Ardbeg Black Fund. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Help me get another one. I was really upset when that broke. That was my favorite committee release that they've done in a little while. I was not a fan of the drum. I liked the Supernova, but it was pretty good. That's like just a peat monster. I mean, that's the black was probably my favorite one that I've had since the Dark Cove. So it's a shame. All right, so let's see. Where does she label these? Okay, so here's A. Okay, B. That's E, C, and D. All right, let's pour these out, guys. Nice big 2-ounce samples. Why couldn't the Jepsen bottle burn? Yeah, exactly, Trev. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, why couldn't it be the Jepsen? I think the Jepsen bottle would have survived. If anything, the Jepsen bottle is a well-designed machine of a bottle. It's a really nice bottle. It's just what's in it that's the issue right now. All right, that's C. Man, these are dark. I mean, these are dark. I don't know what she picked, but let's see here. Oh, this one's lighter. That one's definitely lighter compared to the other three. This is going to be quite the challenge here. And E. All right, so let me show you guys what the kind of the 12 were here. So grouped in here, I told her to pick any of the 5 from this grouping. We had Sagamore Spirit Cognac Finish, which is a rye. Foregate Batch 1, which is a monster of a bourbon. Midwinter's Nice Dram, which is a rye from High West. You guys know that one well. Woodinville Port Finish, so I wanted to throw in there. Joseph Magnus, which is one of my favorite finished whiskeys. We have a pick that I have, which is a Bellmead Select Cask Finish in Cognac. This is the XO. We also have Isaac Bowman Port Finish, which was in the mix. So I can reach this far. We had Legent, which some might question if this is even a bourbon or it's not. We have the Jefferson's Reserve Cabernet Pritchard Hill, I should say, which is a Cabernet Sauvignon finish. The brand new Blood Oath finished in cognac casks, which is right here. And then I don't know if I can reach the other two. Let me grab these two. We have the Balcones Rumble, which is a flavored with honey, turbinado sugar, and mission figs. I'll put that one over here. And last but not least, another Bellmead, the Bellmead Brandy Cask. So from that grouping is what she selected. So Eric Evanson, did you shed a tear? A little bit. I shed a little bit of a tear. It was rough watching that bottle go because I really liked that one. When Scott from Scotch Says Dummy was on the channel, we were both talking about how we both really liked that. We really liked that release. You know, when it came down to it, you know, we definitely liked it as far as a new committee release. We definitely thought it was worthy of being a committee release. You know, just like I said, I wasn't really. I like the drum, but you know, it was eh. That one just seemed richer and it just seemed more viscous and just a little bit better on the palate. All right. Yeah, the Rumble is good stuff. I do like the Rumble. That Bellmead, yeah. Yeah, they look finished, don't they? Look how dark they are. I'm going to lift the tray and bring them up to the camera. Check this out, guys. That's how dark they are. Let's see how labeled A, B, C, D, E. Oh, all right. So let me get some notes here and see if we can maybe figure these out. Now, the problem with finished whiskeys is when you have them in a row is trying to distinguish what finish each is, because it's easy to say wine because, in essence, when you're talking brandy, cognac, wine, it's all grapes. It's just a different type of way that it's, you know, that it's crafted or aged to give you that flavor. So that's going to be the hard part, I think. So I wanted to kind of challenge myself tonight a little bit. And as I'm doing this, I did want to talk a little bit. So last week we got into the conversation about video games growing up. And somebody had sent me a message. Somebody wrote a comment. I forgot who it was. But they said down in the comments that how could you guys forget about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? And I was like, holy shit, you're right. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was one of my favorite games ever. Also brought up was Zelda. I don't think we brought up Zelda last week. Another one I know we talked about Contra. We talked about, Mortal Kombat, which was another one, which is why I did the thumbnail. That was kind of a cool one growing up. But yeah. Joseph Brazer is riling everyone up. Richie Z says, Jason, this should be a delicious blind flight. I hope so. I don't know if there's anything in this choices that I'm not a fan of. So let's see here. I'm going to start with, this is A. So here we go. Slade Gully says Glass Joe. Yes, Glass Joe. The Mr. Sandman. He was a hard one to beat, Mr. Sandman. Who can, actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that for the trivia question. So to win the Weller 107, you have to know a little bit on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. So you guys might want to look up the, if you guys don't know anything about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, look up some of the, opponents' names. All right. So this on the nose, this is letter A. I mean, this is a terrible tasting note, but yes, it smells very winey. There's a lot of wine note on this one. And I don't mean like grape. I mean, this smells like a glass of wine over, I mean, there's bourbon in here, but it smells like a glass of wine. This is cherry. It's slightly sour. I'm picking up sour notes kind of easily tonight. Rebecca Page says, I was a Street Fighter 2 girl. Yeah, I actually have Street Fighter 2 in my basement here. I have the Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. I play it all the time. I love it. I still use Ken and Ryu. Every now and then I will be Guile or Blanca, but mostly I stay with Ken and Ryu. I'm a Dragon Punch fiend. Hadouken, Kakrikla. Just do all those moves. It's awesome. Keith Schmidt says Commodore 64 and 128. Yep. Oh, Jay Skagin 626. Soda Popinski. He was the man. That was the dude. He was like pink almost, right? He had like a pink skin tone. I totally remember that. This actually smells very oaky on the nose. I'm getting a lot of oak. It smells almost like dusty. Like there's like a layer of dust on top of it. There's some good spice to it. A lot of fruit. Caramels, vanillas, but the fruit, the overtones, that wine note is definitely overtaking it. All right, let's go for a sip of this one, guys. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Yeah. I don't know if I'm a fan of that one. That one is a mix of like, it's like dusty wine, if that makes sense. It's almost like there's something like if you dropped a little dust in a glass of wine and took a sip, it's like almost gritty almost. There's some spice on there too, but let me take another sip, see if it gets better. Super random comment, but Robin Williams named his daughter after Zelda, I think. Oh, that's right. I do remember hearing that. That's interesting. Good call out. Steve A, no Chun-Li. No, I was never Chun-Li. I wasn't a Chun-Li guy. Yeah, I was just always, Chun-Li had like the double jumps, but every time I used her in the beginning, every person that knew how to do a dragon punch would just destroy me. So I learned how to do the dragon punch, and then I became the destroyer. Cap and make it happen. Hey, what's up, man? Not drinking finished bourbon yet, but that Bell Mead, bro. Oh, so Cap and make it happen. He was kind enough to send me some really good Balcones, the French oak that you guys know I love. And the Juntos, which is the new Balcones single malt that's finished in tequila barrels. So as a thank you, I sent him a Bell Mead pick that I did, which is a 12-year Bell Mead. And he obviously loves it. So I'm glad you like it, man. It's a really, really, really good pick. Glad you like that one, man. Let's see. 500 Pizza says, did you play Secret of Mana? No, I did not play that game. Joseph Brazo, $2 super chat, playing taps for your black. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Bayou Drams, hey, look, I'm Blanca. I'm just going to sit in the corner and use electricity, match like an asshole. Dude, I hated people that did that. Is the trivia going to be specific to NES or arcade? I don't know. It's just going to be, I don't know, probably NES. AJ Lopez is in the house. What's up, man? Still at work. Going to catch the stream. Cheers, Jason. Oh, he's saying hi to everybody. Thanks for coming in, AJ. I don't know that I could be your friend anymore, Steve A. Why? Because I didn't play Secret of Mana? Is that why? So just, aside from video games, I was actually talking with a couple of friends and we were discussing and I want to kind of hear from you guys, once all this shit is over, hopefully everything starts getting back to normal again. How long that takes, I don't know. What is everybody looking forward to getting back to? For me, I think it's going to a bar or a restaurant with a patio, sitting outside, having a drink, just hanging out with friends. That's all I want to do again. What do you guys think in the chat? What are you guys looking forward to doing and getting back to once all this bullshit's over? Well, I shouldn't say it's bullshit. It's serious, but you know what I mean. All right, this is getting a little bit better. It's got a funky aftertaste, which isn't doing it for me. I do like the front of the palate. The front of the palate is all cherry, fruit. It's a little bit of spice. It's got a nice spicy note right in the mid palate, but it ends with a dusty, a sour dusty note, which I'm not really feeling. I can't say that. If I had to guess, I would think that's kind of a lower proof. I think that's below 100 proof, I'm going to guess. I think it's below 100. It might be close to 100. I'll say below 100, just to be safe. I'll say below 100. I'm going to test myself tonight and see how I do. Age on that. I'm not sure about the bourbon, but I would say that was in a finishing cask for a good amount of time, at least 2 years. It's got a lot of finished wine flavor to it. So we'll see how it goes. All right, some of you guys are saying in the chat. My bourbon journey. What would you guys think if I did an NFL draft live stream recap grading with the Master Drum next Tuesday? Oh, that'd be cool, man. Steve A, I don't know that I can be friends with anyone that didn't like Chun-Li. That's all. Oh, Chun-Li. You're a Chun-Li fan. I didn't say I didn't like using her, but I got so good with Ryu and Ken that I never had to go back to her. I tried to master Guile for a little while, but he was a little bit, you had to kind of really work with Guile a little bit. Eric Hesler says sports, definitely. Looking forward to getting back to my golf club. Yes, golf. I want to play golf, have my flask with some whiskey, smoke a cigar, and just play some golf. That's what I want to do. That's another good one. Yeah, restaurant with friends, watching a game. Absolutely. Crawfish boils with my buddies. Bayou Drams, now you're talking. Nick Foles getting a haircut. Yes, that's why I'm wearing a hat. My hair is all over the place right now. Alejandro says going to whiskey bars, have pours of stuff I could never find. That's always a good one. Making cocktails at French parties. Yep. Joseph Brazo. Oh, okay. Well, going to some breweries, live in Asheville, and it's the perfect place to drink craft beer. Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina is no joke when it comes to craft beer. I love Asheville. Jim Muller haircut. Hey, Taste and Sensibility comes in with $10 super chat. More for the Black Fund. Thank you. Thank you guys for funding the Black Fund. I appreciate it. Eric Evanson said, I would be happy just to be back to work, but I'm the same. Going out to dinner, having toilet paper on the shelf. Ryan Parker, meetup. Yes, that has to happen again. Joseph Brazo says, what, no dovetail? The only reason why I didn't put dovetail in here is because compared to everything else, it was such a high proof compared to the other ones. I felt like it would have stuck out like a sore thumb. I love dovetail, but I didn't want to include it in here because everything else in here is pretty moderate proof, I would say. There's a couple lower ones, But we'll see how it goes. Let's go to B. Let's see what we get in B. All right, now the nose on B is way better. All right, you're talking about like a cigar whiskey. This smells a little bit like a cigar. This is tobacco, leather, some roasted almonds. There's a little bit of a nuttiness there too. Wow. There's a lot going on in there. It's almost like smoky. Getting like a smoke note coming out of this glass. Really nice on the nose. Dark raisins, some plums. Maybe a hint of chocolate. All right, let's go for a sip of this one. This one smells awesome. Easily over A so far. Let's go for a sip. Woo! That's delicious. Oh, all the fruits on the back end. So up front, I was getting all the leather, the tobacco. How much does black sell for? Yeah, it's about 130, 140 in Ohio here. It's not a bad price. Yeah, Dovetail is really good. Wow, this one has all the leather and the tobacco notes and the smoke all up front. And then as it works its way back, then it starts opening up to all these really nice fruit flavors. So whatever it's finished in, this one is definitely, I mean, it's a lot darker. This one definitely has some age on it. It's definitely richer in flavor. I'm not getting a funky note on the end. The note on the end I'm getting this is more smoke. It's more, definitely a barrel char there. That's got to be the smoke note. Definitely tobacco, leather, but right on the very end, you're getting the raisin, chocolate, some plum. That's good. My bourbon journey, is Wana better than Tua? No, Tua is better than Wana, yes. Alejandro L, is Blood Oath Pack 6 in this lineup? I don't know. We have to see. I don't know what she picked. It's in the grouping. It's right here. I told her to pick any 5 of these 12. So it could be in here. I don't know. I will say, just because I just reviewed it, letter A and letter B do not taste like Blood Oath. So I would guess that those two are not Blood Oath, the new one. B is way more smoke forward. Leather, as I said, tobacco. B is, yeah, really good. I like B a lot. This has everything you want in a finished whiskey. Maybe because I just had a cigar recently, I'm definitely smelling like cigar notes on here. It's really nice on the nose. Ooh, that's good. Bayou Jam says, since you bring it up, it seems right now his bottle of blacks is Tua. Yeah, it's pretty much done. All right, it's time. Everybody hold up a glass. Get your water. Time for some water. I would say letter B is actually very drying too on the palate. It definitely dries you out. The oak, the smoke, everything that's kind of on that, it dries out your palate a little bit. I mean, not in a bad way, but you would have to definitely sip that one a little bit because there's a lot of stuff going on there. All right, let's go to C now. See what we get here. Oh, this one smells very different. This one, the fruit is right up front in the glass. There's like there's a definitive like vanilla cream soda thing going on. I would say this one's a little bit on the younger side. Actually, I forgot to, for B, this is definitely has some age. I would guess that has to be, I don't know, maybe, I would say maybe like 10 years old on that stuff. I mean, the amount of like char and smoke you're getting, that has to be a good age on there. I would maybe even go as high as 12 years on that one. Now this one is completely on the other side. This one is a little bit younger to me. This one's very fruity on the nose. This is blackberries, strawberries. Is ADHD Whiskey watching? Blueberries. Definitely some blueberries in this glass. It's good. It mixes with like that intense vanilla note I'm getting here. All right, let's go for a sip of this one. Well, I wasn't really getting much of the finish on that one. Maybe because I'm coming off of B, which has a strong finish. That one's just coming off as very, well, I'm getting a little bit on the back end. This one's coming off very vanilla though. Yeah, water time. All right, there's the finish now. Yeah, it's coming through as pure like jam. This is vanilla. This is like vanilla infused like raspberry or strawberry, maybe even blueberry jam. It's light. It's not as deep and rich as B is, but it's very good. It's pleasant. Good vanilla, good fruit notes. A little bit of caramel there too. I would definitely say that's on the younger side. Compared to B. Could be a little younger than A too, I think. But solid whiskey. I like that one. It's very different. I have a guess of what this could be because it has that scent to it. Yeah, I have a slight guess to that one. So while I'm having some more water here, what's everybody been watching on Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu, and what's everyone catching up on? HBO. I got into a... I hate to admit this shit, but I got caught in a show on Netflix that had probably the worst human beings ever created by our Lord on the channel on the show. It's called oh shit, what the hell is that show called? Oh god, I gotta look it up now. Where is it? No, that's not it. Oh, Too Hot to Handle. Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. Awful, awful show. It's so awful I couldn't stop watching. It was like a train wreck. Oh my god, this shit. So I've been watching like really good shows like Ozark, which is an amazing series if nobody's watched that one yet. And then, I was with the girlfriend and we sat down and we're like, what the hell is this show? Last Dance. Oh, Waco. That's a really good one, Will B. I watched that one too. The Witcher. I have to watch The Witcher. Yeah. Joseph Brazier is just typing Dickel because he wants the mods to correct it. Yeah, Waco's very good. Tiger King, yes. Yeah, definitely. Spencer Matt just cracked into ECBP C919. Nice. Austin Gard, I'm dying. Jason watching. Too Hot to Handle. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. So for those of you that don't know the premise of this show, they take like 8 to 10 to 12, I don't know how many people are on it, of like the worst like self-obsessed humans on Earth, and they throw them on an island. They are not only self-absorbed, but they're also horny, like 24/7. All they care about is going out, hooking up, and meeting people. They do what they want, and they're extremely they know they're good looking, and they're not ashamed to talk about it. So what they did is they took all these people, threw them on an island together. They all share one fucking bedroom, and then what they did is they buy this. There was like this little Alexa thing. I forgot what they called it. It had a name. It was like this cone-shaped Alexa type thing. And it basically talked to them the entire time they were there. And basically they would set the rules. So if any of them had sex with one another, they would. So there was a pot of $100,000. And if you have sex with someone, if you kiss someone, if you get frisky with someone, if you dry hump someone, if you do anything, they deduct money out of the pot. So whoever's going to get the money out of the pot, it gets less and less and less. So the more people that hang out, the more it gets harder and harder. And it's awful. It's so bad. I don't know. We got so caught up in it. But yeah, I was watching that shit. Cheers to Andrew Buchanan, $4.99 Super Chat. Says, you need to watch Altered Carbon if you haven't already. I'm going to write that one down because I will forget. Altered Carbon. Nice. Outer Banks is okay. Witcher was good. Also, the last season of Clone Wars if you're into Star Wars. Haven't caught that one yet. Yeah, Tiger King was a fucking train wreck. That shit was awesome. It was so bad, it was awesome. Train wreck. Sam Clark sounds like Love Island and Georgia. Oh, Jersey Shore here in the UK. Oh, Georgia Shore in the Geordie Shore here in the UK. Yeah, probably. It's terrible. Actually, there were like 2 or 3 people from the UK on that show. Yeah, it's terrible, James. Don't even. It's terrible. What's the show called? Sounds like a drama frenzy. You said it right. It's a train wreck. It's called Too Hot to Handle. Absolute train wreck. All right, let's go to letter D here. Oh, okay. So D probably has one of the best noses so far compared to B. D smells really good. This is raisins, dates, figs. A bit of honey there. Hint of chocolate maybe. I mean, there's a good amount of fruit notes here, but the more I get into this one, the more I'm getting just like kind of straight bourbon notes here. Vanilla, caramels, brown sugars. A lot of cinnamon. I'm getting some orange in there too. There's a lot of citrus going on here too. Mother Alb. I don't know how to say that. Smoke Wagon, uncut, unfiltered, new favorite whiskey. I don't blame you. It's good, man. I love that stuff. 500 Pizzas, Westworld. I'm only into season 2, but it's pretty good. I heard Westworld kind of dropped off the cliff, though. I got to go back and watch that, maybe. We'll see. Dusty Dan says Peaky Blinders is great. Oh, that's a good show. I heard that one's good. All right, I'm getting more bourbon than like a finish on here. I'm getting some fruit on the top of the nose, but let's go for a sip of this one. Oh, that is good. That one is really good, actually. This one is just let me take another sip of that one. That one's confusing me a little bit coming off this one. There's a peanut characteristic going on in that one, which makes me think Legent because it's Jim Beam, that peanut. But a lot of so this is one of those finished bourbons where it just kind of gets like sideswiped by the finish. It's not overpowering, but it's there. I'm getting it all on the front end, and then as it works its way back, it's all bourbon, peanut. Really good flavors there. That one's a little bit drying on the finish too. I feel like that one has a little bit of a, that one could be a little bit older too, have some age to it. It's not as dark as these two, but you know, when you're dealing with finished whiskeys, you know, darkness and color might not always be show in the age. It might just show the influence it got from those finished barrels. So, Antroke35 comes over to $5 super chat. It says, your old Granddad 114 mellow corn mix was awesome. Oh, glad you liked it, man. I'm telling you, it's a sleeper blend. If you guys got some mellow corn and old Granddad 114 in hand, it is pretty good stuff. It takes the it takes a little bit of that spicy 114 and just kind of dulls it a little bit. It makes it a really good pour. D is really good. I love the balance of D. This one has a really great balance. D, always the D. Everyone loves the D. The D. The D's got some nuts in it. That's all I'm saying. The D has some nuts because I taste a lot of peanut in there. I taste, there's definitely some fruit flavors in there too. Like I said up front, it's raisins, it's dates. There's a honey aspect to it. But it's just, it's very, you get like a quick, you get a quick wave of it. And then all of a sudden, it's all bourbon. It's peanut, it's leather. There's definitely some older bourbon in that one too. I would say that one's in the, I don't know, compared to everything that's out here, there's not many things that's that old. So that's what's kind of throwing me for a loop. I mean, I know the Blood Oath has like 14-year-old bourbon in it. The Magnus has some older bourbon in it. The Belle Meade Brandy has some older bourbon in it, but the brandy has such a distinct flavor. If I was going to think anything was the brandy, that could be B. But I don't know. We'll see. So that one's really good. I think that's older too. Slight fruit notes up front. And then bourbon and D's nuts on the back end. All right. Quick sip of water. Let's go to the last one, then we'll start ranking them. What's the biggest peanut bomb bourbon? For me, it's probably Noah's Mill. Noah's Mill from Willet is like drinking peanut butter to me. Some of the Willet purple top bourbons, which are really hard to find, Willet definitely to me has a peanut and spice type flavor profile to it. I would guess anything Willet to me comes off really peanutty. But you know, Jim Beam, Heaven Hill, they also have some nutty notes, but I think Willet has like the most peanut butter-ish type note to it, which is why I think a lot of people like it. Scottish Bourbon says, hey, as Weller's Sweaters have raised their prices, it's like 50 for 750. What's going on? Yeah, they are going up. They're still like 20-something bucks here in Ohio. It's supposedly going up soon, so people are stocking up. All right, let's go to D here. I'm sorry, E. This is the last one. Ooh. Again, this one is another one like B that smells very, very cigarish. A lot of fruit, a lot of smoke, a lot of leather. Thanks, Mod. You're doing an awesome job tonight. I caught that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Andrew Buchanan, Booker's is salted. Yeah, Booker's can get really peanutty. Really, really peanutty too, some of them. That's a really good call out, Andrew. Totally agree with you. This one is it's extremely sweet, but it's also extremely smoky and leather and tobacco forward. Ooh. A lot of these are reminding me of like really good cigars, but this one has the most fruit coming out of it. Oh, wow. That one is a hitter. Whatever that one is a monster of a bourbon or whiskey, whatever it is. It's, whoo. I mean, mostly, I don't think any of these in here are ryes. I think I would have tasted it. I definitely did not taste Midwinters or Sagamore in here. This thing, man, this thing is a monster. This thing is so fruity and rich. Woo. Again, this is like my, I've talked about my grandmother's candy that she used to make. Just cooking down grapes to the point when they were like syrupy and sweet and sticky. And then adding adding sesame seeds to it. To the point where like they turn black and everything's just rich and it's like a sweet candy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm getting like sesame seed, grapes, like deep, dark, rich grapes, blackberries. Super, super rich on the palate. Insane. That's easily, man. There's a very, very rich finish on E, whichever one it is. It's extremely rich. The finish that is on this one, you could taste it more than I think any of the others. B is pretty close, but E has a very intense finish to it. Really good. My goodness, this thing just keeps opening up. Chocolate covered cherries, leather, but like fresh leather, like you walk into like a good like a motorcycle store. Got that leather, that fresh leather scent. Wow. That's good. All right. All right, so let me see if I could I'm guessing the proof on that one is drinking like a higher proofer too. All right, so let's run through these again real quick and let's go through the attributes and see if I'm correct or if I'm close. You gotta love testing yourself, you know? Richie Z, I'm guessing the very first pour is Jefferson's Pritchard cask. Okay. All right, we'll see, man. Again, so A was kind of like sour on the finish. It's still sour. There is a spice there. Fruity up front. Again, I'm going to say that's about 6 to 8 years old. It's below 100 proof. I would say that's like 90 to 95 proof. That's going to be my guess. Not my favorite, probably my least favorite out of the bunch. So that would probably be my last place. Let's go to B. Oh. I just got like this barbecue note on B. Shit, that's good. There's like this smoky barbecue, like this sweet barbecue note coming out of it. Like sweet molasses or like barbecue glaze. Wow. That's so good. I would guess that's... I'm just going to say like 100 proof for that one because I don't think it's higher. I don't think it's too high. Let me take one more sip of that. Yeah. Barbecue. I think I'm going to stick with 100 on the proof for that one. I think it's a solid 100 proofer. I'm going to say it's about 10 years old. But the finish on that is pure smoke, pure like barbecue sweetness. That one is awesome. That one's definitely up there in the rankings. All right. Doubling down, number 5 is Rumble. That's what Will B says. Okay. Love some sweet weather and tobacco. Oh, there you go. All right, here we go. C. Now, C was the most unique because C came off like a lot younger, but still very flavorful. That's definitely lower than B. I would say that's like a 90 proofer. I'd say about 90. Age, I would say like 4 or 6 years old. So I'll go in the middle. I'll say 5. I'll say it's 5 years old. That's what I like to do when I can't decide. I just pick a middle number. Definitely some good port finish there, I think. Yeah. Maybe it's wine. Maybe it's Cabernet. Trying to look at all these bottles. There's a few ports I have out here that I would think that would be because it's very sweet. It's very light. I had a guess of that one. I think that one is the Woodinville just because of that flavor profile. I think it's the Woodinville port. That's what I'm going to stick with. It has that cream soda Washington, like raw. I don't know. There's something about it that screams Woodinville for me. So I'm going to go with that one. Daniel Brown says, barbecue, do you smell burnt toast? Yeah, a little bit. I could see there's some burnt toast in there, but it's also very sweet. So it's coming off like a sweet barbecue too, a little bit, like a sweet smoke. All right, so I saw that was 90 proof. I'm guessing that's the Woodinville because it has that Woodinville flavor profile. And the only reason why I know that is because of the wonderful Joseph Brazier in the in the chat, because he was kind enough to send me some Woodinville. And after trying a bunch at the same time, I think that one's Woodinville. All right, let's go to D. D has me thrown for kind of a loop here. So this is the one that smells fruity, but is also like a little bit nutty on the palate. So I'm like gearing towards the Legion, but I don't remember the Legion tasting this good. That's not a high proof either. I don't think that's a high proof at all. It's very good. It's very balanced. Yeah, that one has some good age on it. The finish on that one is what's winning me over. When you get to the front of the palate, it's weird. It's like the front of the palate gives you some fruit. The middle of the palate gives you some of the older bourbon notes and some vanilla, some dark caramels. And then they kind of meet and then give you it all in the finish, which is really nice. I like D a lot. D's nuts. I'm going to say D is somewhere with that aftertaste. I'm going to say it's around 12 years old-ish. I don't think that's a high proof. I'm going to say 95 proof for that. I don't know if anything in here is 95 proof, but I'm going to say 95. All right, then we're going to go to this monster. Oh, my God. That one is so fruity and rich. I'll say that one's like 110. That's got to have some age on it, or at least spend a lot of time in the cask to get that amount of flavor. Woo! Hey, Michael Klein's in the house. The winner. The winner. He's back. Yeah, Andrew Buchanan says, yeah, Michael Klein, right now, I am practicing. I am doing a blind finished bourbon whiskey blind flight right now. I don't know. I have a choice of 12 different ones. I'm guessing what it is. But I'm doing the same thing that you were doing with Chris Klein. I'm doing the proof, trying to pick maybe around the age. I'm not going to deal with price because, who knows. But, all right. So let me take one more sip of this. I'm going to rank them. Man, this one is just... It's between E and B for the top spot. B is just like barbecue smoke. There's a lot of vanilla. There's a lot of fruit sweetness. Ton of like smoke characteristic. But I might give the edge to E here just because of the intensity of the flavors you're getting here is just so, it's awesome. Yeah. All right, I'm going with that one. Michael Klein said he better. I'm coming for him. I think I have to, but Klein, you're right. I think I have to do the circuit. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to ADHD whiskey next. See if we could do a head-to-head. Maybe I'll hit up Chris from Bourbon saying he did really good against you. Maybe I'll take him on. So I got to do the circuit before we do another head-to-head. So, all right. I'm gonna put E as my favorite. Doing E as my favorite. That's my number one. B is easily number two, but these two are like 1A, 1B. Awesome. Now, when it comes down to these two, I'm going to say, or these three, I should say, I'm going to put the D in third, C in fourth, and A in last. All right, so that's my lineup. So let me straighten this out here. All right, so that's my final lineup. All right, any guesses as to who came out on top? Richie Z said he thought letter A was the Jeffersons. Somebody said that the last one was the Balcones. I don't think that's the Balcones, though, because it didn't have the Texas funk to it. So, all right, so this is the envelope she put together for me. So let's see what she said. Let's see what's in here. Kind of excited. All right. All right, let's start with last place, which was A. And A is... Shit, Richie Z. A is the Pritchard Hill. Look at you, man. Richie, have you had this before and just kind of guessed it off my notes? Or, like, what's the deal, man? How'd you call that out? That's crazy. Christopher Davis says your winner is the Joseph Magnus. Okay, he's calling out the winner, Joseph Magnus. All right, so what did I say? I said this is 90 to 95 proof. It's 90.2 proof. So there you go. 90.2 proof. I actually don't know the age on this. I guess it's about 6 to 8 years old. If anyone could look that up for me, anyone know what the age of this Pritchard Hill is? I don't know what the age of that is, but that is, oh, I got to put that over here. That's last place. You in last, boy. Last place was the Pritchard Hill. I love the up front of it. I love the front of the palate, but it just finishes funky and weird. Chris Beaton says I told Richie. Chris Beaton is taking the whatchamacallit. He's taking all the glory for calling it out. All right, letter C. Okay, so I said this is the one I guess was Woodinville. And holy shit, it was Woodinville. So fourth place goes to Woodinville. This is a Woodinville port finish. Woodinville and that stuff that's made out west just has such a distinctive flavor profile that I just couldn't, different than Texas, but it just has a distinctive flavor profile that I thought, you know, what it was. So that's the reason why I called that one out. Now, when it comes to these other three, now D, I have no idea. D, I'm guessing could be the Belmead. It could be the Blood Oath. What else is left? I don't think it's the Rumble. Finished whiskeys. Last I finished, Jason, was your mother. What? You talking about my mother, Klein? Oh, that's it. It's fucking on now. Is it a buy? We need a price per point scale. This Jefferson's Pritchard Hill is about $65. That's a pass. Woodinville Port, I like it. I don't think it's bad. It just, up whatever these three are, it just didn't really fare well against, but it's definitely a good bourbon, good whiskey. This is, I believe, about $50 for the Woodinville port finish. So, all right, so let's go. So D was the kind of oh wait, what did I say for B? B I said, oh no, I'm sorry, C. Yeah, C was, I said 90 proofer. Woodinville is spot on, 90 proof. About 5 years old, I said. I think Woodinville is about 5 years old, maybe 6 years old at this point now. So I was right in the range there. Didn't do too bad on that one. All right, D is kind of a mystery. Let's see what D is. D is, oh shit, really? So remember, D was the one I was going back and forth where it could have been the Legion because I was getting this nutty note on it. And it is the Blood Oath. Blood Oath Pack 6 is D. Now this is $100, $110 retail. Richie Z, Master Jason, yes, have that, and I'm not real pleased with it either. Oh, okay. Jervil says it's on. Woodinville, not bad, not great, whether in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I actually like the regular bourbon over the port finish. The port finish is okay, but I would take the regular bourbon over the port finish if I had to choose one over the other. Blood Oath Pack 6. You know, so this is sourced whiskey, you know, that they're putting together. I would bet a lot of money that there's either Heaven Hill or Jim Beam in this. Now, since Luxco already sources from Heaven Hill for a lot of their stuff, there's definitely some Heaven Hill in there because that nuttiness flavor is, the more this opens up, yeah, you're getting some fruity notes, but that peanut note is starting to come out more. So I would guess that's where that's coming from. I would say that there's some good amount of Heaven Hill in there. Remember, there's a 14-year, an 8-year, and a 7-year. And the 7-year is the only one that's finished in cognac casks. So, like I said, the cognac is very light, but good stuff. So it comes down to, you know what, let me take this out of the box. It's in the box. That's getting in the way. All right. So we have 5th, 4th, and 3rd there. Never had it. Woodinville single bows are outstanding. Cap and Make It Happen says, I want to see violence. What about to be knockout throwdown? Yeah, me and Klein are going to throw down, man. I'm telling you. All right. So B. All right, so let's see what B was. So B for me was this one. Well, this was the one that was like smoky, sweet, very leather, very tobacco. I guess around 10 to 12 years old, and I guess 100 proof. And B is Joseph Magnus. Man, I really thought that B was the Belmead. I thought that number 1 was actually going to be the Joseph Magnus. So maybe number 1 was Belmead. We'll see. So Joseph Magnus, 100 proof. Nailed it. Finished in sherry and cognac casks. I wasn't getting a ton of the sherry and cognac on here. It was fruity, but I was getting so much smoke and leather and like ultra aged like oak and spice on this one. One of my favorites. It's delicious. What did I guess? 10 to 12 years old? What's the age on the Magnus? Am I close? Joseph Magnus age. Let's see. Bro. Oh, when I said sour grape, you thought Pritchard. Okay. Michael Klein, I love me some mash and drum. Yeah, I love you too, man. It's all love. Okay. So it's sourced 8 to 9-year-old bourbon. Okay, I said about 10 years old, 10 to 12 years old. So it's right in that 8 to 9 year range. I think the finish made it seem older than it was, but you know, I was in the ballpark. That one was tough because that had so much of a finish on it. Let's go to number 1, which is letter E, and that is the Belle Meade Brandy. Yeah, baby. This thing is a beast. This thing is phenomenally good. I said that this was 110 proof. This comes in at 118, so it's 8 points higher. Finished in Spanish brandy cask. That definitely came through. I said it was also about 10 to 12 years old. This is about 10 to 12 years old. But I know it spent a lot of time in the brandy casks. So it got a lot of, I think they kept it in there about 2 years in brandy casks. So it has a lot of finished flavor. Incredible. This was a fun lineup. It's really weird when you put them all. So when you do all bourbons and then there's one finished whiskey in there, it's easy to stick out. But when you do them all in a row, you have to try to pick out the different types of fruit flavors that are going to come out because they are there. I think what's interesting to me is when you get past the fruit, it's the other bourbon flavors, the ones that you may recognize that are in there that actually might tell you the story of what's in the bottle. So for any of you that have, 4 or 5 finished whiskeys, definitely do a blind tasting. It's really interesting when you do them all head to head. Really crazy. Heel turn with the empty blood oath box. Michael Klein, bring me on. Let's get the next round set up. Yeah, man, I'm ready when you are. Mark Reyes, Spanish brandy must have grape notes. Yeah, it has a ton of grape, ton of blackberries. D8 Silv, oh, that's unfair. That brand is, insane. Yeah, the Belle Meade Cask Strength is one of my favorite bourbons, but like I said, I didn't choose these. My lady chose these, and she did a great job. She picked 5 very different ones, I gotta say. I think in any of these cases, they would have been pretty different. None of the ryes made it. I would have liked to see one of the ryes in there just because I think that would have been interesting, a good test, if I could pick up if it was a rye that was finished as well. But really fun tasting. So what do we do at the end of the night, guys? We blend them. And we see if many finished whiskeys make a good blend. So let's try that. And then while we're doing that, I'm going to come up with my question to give away the bottle of Weller Antique. So let's let this sit here for a little bit. See how this blend works out. Just for record here, since I've been home, I've been blending like crazy. I've been blending so many damn whiskeys just to see what it does. Mellow corn, as you know, I've been blending, which is why I wanted to do the video. Just incredible stuff. So that was awesome. All right, is that your favorite Belle Meade, or is there a better Belle Meade to buy? If you could just get the brandy is a special release, so that you can't get every day. My favorite ones are the regular Cask Strength Reserve, which is amazing stuff. Also, sometimes you could find select cask store picks like this one. So this was a pick in an XO cask. So that's actually a cognac finish. But it's cask strength. This is 116.5 proof. They generally run between 110 and 120 proof. Really good stuff. But yeah, as far as everyday one, I love to go for the cognac finish, and I definitely love to go for the Cask Strength Reserve. Let's see. Hey, Howdy Whiskey's in the house. What's up, Dan? Thanks for coming in, man. Throw some yellow corn in. Michael Klein said, dude, what, man? Jason, dark fruit overlord tonight. Yeah, it was a lot of dark fruit in here. Oh, Howdy Whiskey just decided to take a nap. Isn't Belle Meade source as well? Yeah, Belle Meade sources from MGP. But they do a proprietary mash bill. So it's more of a contract distilling rather than a sourcing. They're not just going in and buying, you know, stuff that MGP makes. MGP is making their proprietary mash bill for them. But they are starting to churn out their own distillate, but they're actually using it to launch their Greenbrier Tennessee whiskey rather than the Belle Meade stuff. So I think we're still a few years out for when they release their own stuff for underneath the Belle Meade label. But we'll see what happens. But for the meantime, MGP, Belle Meade, what they're doing together, it's delicious. It's delicious, delicious whiskey. So, all right. So let's go to this. But first, let's. I had a question I was going to ask. Let's see who's going to win the bottle. I'm giving away a bottle of Weller 107 Antique tonight. And I will throw in a couple of my Mash and Drum whiskey coins as well for you guys, for whoever wins this. So, I just got a text from Michael Klein that says, invite me on, let's set up next round. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're definitely going to set up next round, Klein. We'll do it. Let's see here. Hit me up. Let's do this. Well, I actually can't invite you on right now through OBS. If I was using StreamYard, I could. I can't do it now, though. All right. So we'll talk about that, Klein. But I got to get ADHD whiskey in first. I think he wanted to take me on next. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so here we go. So I said for the trivia question, you have to know a little bit about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Because we were talking old video games earlier. So all right, so here we go. I got to pick out a good question for you guys. This is awesome. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Okay. So here's the question tonight, guys. First one in the chat is going to win the bottle of Weller Antique 107. So you know all the opponents' names, but what is your name in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? The little boxer, what's his name? First one in the chat gets the Weller Antique. Daniel Brown says, get in line, Klein. Yep. I don't see any answers yet. I'm waiting for them to start coming in here. Kid Quick, Mac. Oh shit, no, Alejandro L got it. Little Mac. Alejandro L is the first one on my screen to get it. Little Mac. Oh, dude, Slade Gullidge was real close. Slade Gullidge was right there. Yeah, Little Mac. Alejandro L. Alejandro L, you get the bottle of Weller Antique. You know what, Slade Gullidge, you were right behind him. Slade, email me, Slade. You guys can email me here. So Alejandro L and Slade Gullidge, email me at, where is it? themashanddrum@gmail. Slade, I'll send you a sample of the Belle Meade brandy, my first winner tonight, if you want. And Alejandro L, you're going to get the bottle of Weller Antique. And I'll send both of you coins. So cheers to you guys. Congrats. I'm going to try the blend real quick. I swear, I smell the Belle Meade brandy over everything in here. No, not a good blend. Don't do it. Blends should be left alone. Or finished whiskey should be left to their own finishes. That is not good. I'm going to leave that right where it is. No bueno, no bueno. As my grandmother would say, mi no piace, mi no piace. That's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to leave that there. All right. Good job. Yes. Okay. Alejandro and Slade Gullidge, shoot me an email and we'll connect. Alejandro, I know you've emailed me before. Slade, I think you've emailed me before too, but if you haven't, shoot me an email here at themashanddrum@gmail.com. I'll send you the Bellmead brandy. Alejandro L, I'll send you some Weller Antique. If you want some of the Bellmead brandy to try too, I'll send you some as well. So with that, thanks for hanging out. Whiskey Wednesday night. Tune in this Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. I'll be hanging out with Jeremy Sears. We'll be talking cigars, pairing how to pair some whiskeys with some cigars. I sent him some really good stuff, so definitely tune in for that. Be out on the lookout for my next video, which will be my top alternatives to Blanton's. I worked pretty hard on this video. I tested a lot of different bourbons to see which ones gave me the... This isn't a video that means, okay, this is the better than Blanton's, because I could go on for days of bourbons that are better than Blanton's. But this is, I'm sick of hearing people looking for Blanton's and asking me about Blanton's. So I wanted to make a video that has the perfect alternatives to getting Blanton's. So ones that give a good experience similar to what Blanton's offers. Everyone says, oh, it's so smooth, it's so sweet. But there are a lot of bourbons out there that did that. I taste tested them, and I'm going to put it all in one video. So keep an eye out for that. Cheers, good night. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. Thanks for hanging out on this Whiskey Wednesday, guys. Cheers, I'll see you next week. Take care. Cheers. I'm not going to drink that. Where's my blend?